Okay, you like music? Very good. Now here, learn the violin, learn the piano. If you're a girl, learn to sing, learn Hindustani. But if it's a boy, it's like, no, you learn guitar, you learn drums, you learn, like tabla. Because there's this imaginary male instrument and female instrument in people's minds.
Do you think political art has there's a slight risk to it, that it may not appeal to all audiences and hence put you out of disfavor as an artist? Because we see that going around a lot in the entertainment industry at large.
Yeah, it's a very difficult sort of path to tread. I'm of the opinion that art in some way or the other has to be provocative. And sometimes it could be an extreme reaction, but that's probably a very good thing. Because if there is an extreme reaction, things like art have the opinion to get people talking. Like if someone puts out a controversial video, or if someone posts a controversial lyric or something, it actually gets people to maybe debate, maybe fight, maybe go against each other for a bit. But the important thing is it sparks a conversation. It makes other people think.
Do you ever, just along that vein, do you ever feel that you may fall into the territory of, or be made the victim of cancel culture? Do you believe in that sort of culture, and do you ever fear that for yourself as an artist?
I definitely fear it for myself, and I have reservations about cancel culture. I think sometimes people, with the best intent, it's just to probably make a point and to show people that they're upset with it. That cancel culture is picked up and it's great, but I feel like a lot of people do it not because they have free will in the matter, but they're doing it to conform or just to feel righteous or to feel a part of some kind of movement, which I think is wrong. I like if someone wants to individually boycott or not use a product or something like that, obviously the reason for it is also so important, right? Like if it's a product that we're using that is actually exploiting some kind of scarce resource, or for example, standard fireworks and that whole thing that happened long back about how they were using child labor in their factories. Obviously, that's, I think, a reasonable reason to boycott a company or boycott someone. But then something like some one person in the company having a Me Too allegation. You have to think at some level about the company being not just that one person, but a bunch of people whose livelihoods and incomes depend on that.
Do you think artists who make music that's sort of sexist or derogatory to women, that has a chance of translating into something very, very dangerous for women in society?
It's possible. If I feel that way about movies, I'm not wrong to say that I feel that way about music, A lot of times most of India learns anything about love and relationships in the opposite sex by what they see in movies, right? And when you're constantly pushing the idea that a man has to stalk and chase a woman and be creepy and not take no for an answer, then that's what young men are going to think works. And especially up until now, at least now there's online resources that you can tune into and read, and maybe now there's a little more social awareness, but for the longest time that was the case. And it's not like these movies aren't being made even now, you know what I'm saying? So even with music, it's sad, but that sort of stuff actually just becomes more popular,
Do you think, as a woman in the indie music industry, do you think there's enough representation? And because even though music does not see gender, the industry does. So yeah,
really not at all enough representation. There's a stat that I keep quoting, and that is apparently in the indie scene, there's only 6% or something that are actually women. Music is you should be able to make music irrespective of your gender. Doesn't mean that just because you're a man it gives you a better advantage. But I think where it really boils down to the representation question in at least the indie scene is from the time that girls are growing up, there's a sort of when the time girls grow up, there's a sort of gender policing that happens with regards to even what you do within music. Okay, you like music? Very good. Now here, learn the violin, learn the piano. If you're a girl, learn to sing, learn Hindustani. But if it's a boy, it's like, no, you learn guitar, you learn drums, you learn, like tabla. Because there's this imaginary male instrument and female instrument in people's minds. And so what do you get at the end of the day? You get more women who are just singers or songwriters and front people. And then you have more men in more technical angles of the music industry. You have more male producers, technicians, instrumentalists. And there's no reason that those spots shouldn't be filled by women as well.
Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon so that you don't miss any videos by us.